Yeah, morning all. So before I start, can anyone please confirm whether my voice is clear, whether the screen is visible or not, right?
Visible
Yes,
and clear, sir.
it
Fine,
is clear.
fine, thank you. So today I'll be just entering into the technicals of this Python, like data types and variables. Every organization, has got data and operations. Data represented using data types or variables. And if any operations represented using functions. Data represented using data types or variables, operations represented using functions. Every organization has got data and operations. Data represented using data types or variables, operations represented using functions. Observe, if you take an example of any organization like bank, right? Bank. If you take the example of a bank, bank consists of customers and employees, right? Customers and employees. Customers has got data and operations. Customers has got data and operations. Data like customer name, some name, account number, balance, branch. Data represented using data types or variables. Data types or variables. You want to represent this data, right? Data types or variables. We go with data types or variables. And operations, if you talk about these operations, right? Like deposit operation, withdraw operation, transfer operation, this everything, right? By using functions. By using functions. Data types are variables, right? Okay, customer name, account number, balance, branch, everything by using data types are variables. Operations using functions. Employees by using employee data and operations. Employee data and operations. Employees data, right? Similarly for employees data, employee ID, employee name, salary, designation, this everything by using data types or variables. Data types or variables, right? Yes. And this operations by using functions like calculating tax, calculating net salary, all these are functions, right? Yes, by using functions. Later we discuss about functions, that is, as of now, data types and variables. So data represented using data types or variables, operations using functions. Any organization has got a data and operations. Data represented using data types or variables, operations using functions, right? Now observe. Any programming language, if you take like C or C++ or Java, any programming language, C or C++ or Java, right, represents data. Represents data using data types or variables. Or Python. C or C++ or Java or Python, any programming language, they represents data using data types or variables. On that data, we perform operations. On that data, we perform operations using functions. So on that data, we perform operations, right, using functions, right? Yes. If I talk about other programming languages compared with Python, C, C++, Java when compared with Python, right? Python supports dynamic data types. Python supports dynamic data types. Okay. What do you mean by dynamic data types? In other programming language, if I want to create a variable like x equal to 10, int x equal to 10, compulsory we need to specify the data type like int. If you say y equal to 4.5, float y equal to 4.5, z equal to HELLO, right? String. We need to say string z equal to hello, right? Int x as 10, float y as 4.5, string z as hello. But in Python, no need to specify this data types, right? Directly we can say like x as 10, y as 4.5, z as hello, right? Yes, no need to specify the data types here. You can directly provide the values. What type of variable x is here? Means based on the data type defining, you are saying it as integer variable. Y is a float variable based on the data type defining. Z is a string variable. But here, what type of variable x is? What type of variable x, y, and z is? What type of variable x is means?
Integer.
What value you have assigned to x? What value you have assigned to x?
10.
10 means integer value you have assigned. So integer variable going to get created dynamically during runtime. There is a function in Python, type function, type of x. Type of x is integer. Why it is integer? As you have assigned an integer value, integer variable gets created dynamically during runtime. Type of y, what is the type of y? It is float type. Why
Float.
why it is float? Because you have assigned a
Decimal value.
float value. You have assigned a float value. That's why float variable getting created dynamically. Type of z. Type of z is what type?
String.
String type, because you have assigned a string value. So compulsorily we need to assign some value in Python. So based on the value assigned only, the variable gets created dynamically. If you're not compulsorily some value, if you're assigning integer value, integer variable gets created. If you're assigning float value, float variable gets created. If you're assigning string value, string variable gets created. Okay, This is what we call as dynamic data types. No need to specify the data types. Dynamically from the values what we are assigning, what values we are assigning, from that assigned values only, yes, the variable gets created dynamically, right? So here I'll be discussing 4 cases here to make you understand about this data types and variables. I'll be discussing 4 cases. Observe these 4 cases here. What happens internally whenever we define some variables in Python? How to print their values, how to print their address, how to print their type. Yes. Case 1, observe this case 1, right? Defining a variable. Defining a variable, right? Yes, 1 second. Yes. Case 1, defining a variable, right? Whenever you define any variable in Python, right? X equal to 10. I'm saying X equal to 10, right? Internally, an object gets created with value 10. The object is going to occupy some memory address. This is the address where exactly it is stored. That address will be given to X. What X is storing, don't say like X is storing 10. X stores the address. X stores the address. So whenever I say print X, you need to understand 3 things here. Print X. Whenever you say print X, it goes to this address first and prints the content whatever present at that address. Means what do you mean by print X?
10.
Prints the content at that address. Prints the content. X stores the address. I am saying whenever you say print X, it goes to that, prints the content at that address. What is the content at that address?
0 3 years.
10. 10 10. What is the at this address? At this address, what is the content? 10, right?
10.
So print X means it goes to this address and prints whatever present, whatever content present at that address, that is 10. Print, there is a function called id function, id of X. So for printing the address, right, prints the address of X. Yes, prints the address of X, right? What is the address of X? 103070, right? Yes. Just now I was saying type of X. So what value was assigned based on the type? Prints the data type of X. Data type of X is what type? Integer type, right? As you have assigned integer value to it, the type will be integer type. So you need to understand here. Print X, id of X, type of X. Print X prints the content, that is 10. id of X prints the address. Type of X prints the data type of X, right? These 3 things we need to understand. Okay. In Python, no need to define the data type. Directly we can define the value. How to print the content? Print X. Prints 10. ID of X, where exactly it is stored in the memory, that address location is going to enter. Here I've given some random value, type of X. Integer type, right? Prints the data type of X. This is case 1. Defining variable, printing content, printing address, and printing the type. Now observe this case 2. Yes. Now everyone try to respond, right? I want the sessions to be interactive, right? So you can unmute yourself and you can just give responses, right?
Okay.
Or through, if you have got some background noise, you can just give your response through short panel. So here X equal to 10, Y equal to 20. Two variables, X equal to 10, Y equal to 20. How many objects will be created? Everyone try to respond.
Two.
Two objects.
Two objects, right? Yes, two objects. One object with value 10. It is going to have some address. That address will be given to X. For Y equal to 20, one more object with value 20 with some address. It is going to occupy some address. That address is given to Y. Now try to say the three things. Print X. What is the text?
It will give the
10.
value.
10.
Will display the content.
Print X means what is that? Value 10. ID of X.
103070.
Display the 1030.
The address.
Address of the object.
The address, right? Type of X. Type of X will be
Integer.
integer type. And try to say for print Y.
20.
20.
Print ID of Y means the address.
104090.
Type of Y.
Integer.
Integer. Understood, right? So,
Yes.
so how to print the content, how to print the address, how to print the type. Print X means prints the content to 10. Print ID of X means prints the address. Type of X means what value you have assigned. Yes. Observe here two different variables X, Y with two different values 10, 20. Then two different objects, right? With two different objects with two different addresses, right? Two different variables with two different values, then two different objects with two different addresses are created. This is case 2. Observe this case 3.
So Vijay, like in general we shall be using this ID.
So ID, why I'm showing you, because there's Python providing a function, ID function, to check.
Okay, I mean,
okay. So why ID required? Because observe this case 3. Internally, how many objects created? How will you check? Based on this address, right? If two different address, two objects. If only one address, one object. Case 3. So here also I'll take two variables X and Y. X value 10, Y value 10. Here try to observe carefully, right? How many objects are created here?
2.
Two objects.
Everyone.
Two objects.
two objects.
Observe carefully here. Only one object is created here. Only one object created. X equal to 10, one object gets created with some address. The address is given to X. I'll show you all this practically today. X equal to 10, right? One object with value 10 with some address. Before creating object for Y, right? It checks any object with value 10 is already available. Any object with value 10 is already available.
Yes.
If
Yes,
available, the same address will be given.
Yeah.
One more object with value 10 won't be created. One more object with value 10 won't be created. Means
It's
if
okay.
X value is 10, Y value is 10, Z value is 10. Don't think like the three objects with value 10 will be created. No. Only one object, its address will be given to X, Y, Z. Right? Understood. Means what is your observation? If the values, if the content is same, only one object. If the contents are different, multiple objects. For example, if x value is 10, y is 20, z is 30, how many objects?
3.
Three objects will be created.
3 different objects will be created with 3 different addresses, right? Yes, that's fine. But if x value 10, y value 10, z value 10, how many objects?
Only one.
1.
Only one object, right? Its address will be given to x, y, and z. For example, if a value 100, b value 100, c value 100, how many objects?
1.
One.
Only one object, only one address. So understood, right? So if you want to check the address, we got id function, whether the address is same or different. Understood, right? There is a function provided by Python called id function to check the address. If you got same address or different address, right? So here x, y, and z, x, y, and z, they are sharing the same contents. They are sharing the same content and the same address, right? If I say like print x, all they are going to print the same value, right? Print x, print y,
Right.
and print z. What is the value? 10.
10.
Addresses also, right? Same address, id of x.
103070.
Yes. And address of z. 103070. Type also going to be the same type. Type of x, type of y, and type of z.
Integer.
Type of z, right? Yes. That is what type? Integer type. Yes.
Integer.
Okay. Understood, right? This case 3, if the contents
Yes.
are same, only one object, only one address, right? Okay.
So with this, with like how many values that an address can contain? Like let's say x, y, z having the same values. Like in one address, like are there any limits or like for example, like in this address 10307, let's say how many parameters having the same value? For
How
example,
many variables can be attached to single address?
How many variables can be attached to single address means? If the variables have got, if for example, a value 10, b value 10, c value 10, d value, e value, f value, all they got the same value 10 means the same address will be given to all the variables.
Any limit, sir, like that?
how many
Any
variables? Like,
limitation?
since the value is single one, but how many variables contains the same value, like that we can answer it.
We can assign multiple variable values or only.
We can assign any number of it. See, if you are defining, for example, in my first line, x value 10 I have given. In third line, I have given some y as 10 only. In some fifth line, I have given some z as 10. So in this way, if you are giving the same values, right? Internally, already one object is created, it's available. Again, it is not going to create a new object. That's it. If you're creating a variables already, if you've got a new variable, if you're creating already the 10 object available, right? It is not going to create a new object. The only thing is, if you are keep on defining variables, check it whether that object already available. If already it's available, it won't create. If not available, it will create a new object. So how will you check whether? Means by just checking addresses, address of x and y, are they same? If they same means only one object, if otherwise different objects.
X equal to 10 and x equal to 20, what it will be takes a value?
That is case 4.
Okay.
So okay, case 4, right? Next, if I got x value 10, X value 20, X only, not XY. How many objects will be created here? Yes.
Two objects, right?
Two objects.
Two objects.
Two objects.
But still have got one query here. X equal to 20, one object. Okay, two objects created. That's fine up to here. If I say print X, what is the X value it prints? 10 or 20 or both?
20.
Latest value.
Everyone.
20.
Always it prints the latest value, right? 10. 20. Sorry.
Okay.
X value was 10, X value was 20. Always it prints the latest value. Print ID of X 1040
4080.
0.
104080, right? Yes.
How it will know which is latest one?
Address location.
So in the first line, if you are writing X equal to 10, in second line X equal to 20, right? In third line X equal to 30. Print X means what is the X value it prints?
30.
30.
30.
The last latest defined one will be taken. Okay, that's fine. I'll execute these two lines for one time. First time it prints 10, 20 only, right? Second time, if I execute this print X, what value it prints? 20 only. Third time, 20 only. Fourth time, 20 only. Fifth time, each time it prints the same values, right? Yes.
First value, is it deleted or still available?
Okay, what happens? Okay, that is my next query, right? So what is that? What happens to the previous object 10? Can I print? Is there any possibility of printing the value of this 10? If I always say print X, print X, print X, it is always printing 20 only. Is there any possibility of printing this value 10?
No.
So what happens to the previous object? What happens to the previous object means? Observe here. So if you want to really know what happens to the previous object, there is a small thing I need to discuss. I need to discuss a small, concept, right? You need to understand this concept of garbage collector. It's too early to discuss this concept, but just I'll give overview as of now, but later in our course, like we'll be discussing in brief, right? Garbage collector. If you want to understand what happens to the previous object. So I'll go back to this case 3. I'll just explain here, right? What is a garbage collector? Nothing but removes. Garbage collector removes unused
Data.
unused objects or unreferred objects. Garbage collector removes unused objects or unreferred objects from the memory. From the memory, right? Yes. Removes unused objects or unreferred objects from the memory. Unused or unreferred objects from the memory. What do you mean by unused objects or unreferred objects? Objects whose reference count becomes 0 object whose reference count becomes 0, such objects we call it as unused or unreferred objects. Objects whose reference count becomes 0, we call those objects as unused objects or unreferred objects.
Hello.
Yes. So garbage collector means removes unused objects or unreferred objects from the memory. What do you mean by unused or unreferred? Means objects whose reference count becomes 0. We call them as unused or unreferred. These objects, when any object reference count becomes 0, then immediately these objects will be removed. Then immediately these objects will be removed from the memory. By the garbage collector. So objects whose reference count becomes 0, then immediately those objects will be removed from the memory by the garbage collector. You may ask, what is reference count and how this reference count becomes 0? First, what do you mean by reference count? Reference count is nothing but, just before you are asking, right? Number of variables pointing to an object. Number of variables pointing to an object. Number of variables pointing to an object are number of variables are storing address of a object. Number of variables pointing to an object will give the reference count. Number of variables storing address of an object will give the reference count. So here in this example, see this: x value 10, y value 10, z value 10, only one object, only one address. What is the reference count, RC, reference count of this object? How many variables are pointing to it? What is the reference count?
3 variables.
Everyone try to answer. What is the reference count? Yes.
3.
3 variables.
3. Why? Because 3 variables are pointing to this, right? X, Y, and Z. Understood.
Yes.
Number of variables pointing to an object. 3 variables. A number of variables storing the address of a object. This address is stored by X, by Y, and by Z, right? So reference count is 3. Up to here it's fine, right? So now, how an object reference count becomes 0, and how an object gets removed by the garbage collector? Just observe what happens internally. So here x10, y10, z10. Slowly, after I have modified the y value to 20, I just modified the y value to 20. Y value modified to 20 means a new object with value 20 created. A new object gets created.
Yes.
That address will be given to y, right? Now y is not pointing. Y is not pointing to this. Y is made to point to the new object. So what is the reference count of this object? 10.
Remove.
2. Only x and z are pointing, right? Only x and z are pointing. So reference count is 2. Y is pointing to a new object. Slowly I modified the z value to 30. A new object 30 gets created with some address. The address is given to z. Now z is not pointing to 10. Z is made to point to a new object, right? Now reference count will be what?
1.
1.
Only x is pointing. Previously 3 variables were pointing, reference count was 3. Now only one variable x is pointing. Slowly I modified the x value also to 50. Yes. 106080, right? Yes. Yeah. Now X is pointing to the new object. X is not pointing to this. Reference count becomes what?
0.
Reference count becomes 0. Whenever what I said, when any object reference count becomes 0, then immediately that object gets removed by the garbage
Garbage.
collector automatically, right? So this object got removed, right? So understood, its reference
Yes.
code was 3. Slowly it became 2, it became 1, it became 0. Whenever it became 0, immediately that object means whenever the object reference count becomes 0, none of the variables are pointing to it. None of the variables are referring it. Means unused object it is, unreferred object it is. So it will remove from the memory. So whenever reference count becomes 0 means it is unused or unreferred object. It will be removed from the memory immediately. Understood, right, everyone?
It will remove temporarily or permanently?
It
That
gets removed.
old-
It gets removed permanently.
Okay.
So we can't print the text value.
So this X means now if you print X, it will print 50 now. It got removed totally. There is no chance of printing the 10. Now coming back to our example, right? I was just asking a query. If X is 10, X is 20, what happens to the previous X means? Observe here, X equal to 10. Yes, please be in mute. Okay, X, forget about X equal to 20 for some time. X equal to 10. What is the reference count of this object to 10?
1.
Only one variable is pointing. X is pointing. Slowly I modified the X value to 20. Now X is pointing to this new object. X is not pointing to this. Reference count becomes what?
0.
0. This object gets removed. Whenever any object reference count becomes 0, immediately that object gets removed, right? By the garbage collector. Understood, right, everyone? What is a garbage collector? Removes unused object, unreferred object from the memory. Unused object means if any object reference count becomes 0. Reference count means number of variables pointing to another. Okay. So later again, when this garbage collector concept I'll be discussing, right, later with multiple examples. Okay, now we'll see these 4 cases practically now. So observe this. Yesterday I was saying, right, installation of Python. So here, if you go where exactly this, go to the start programs, check where your Python is available here. Python 3.11 version. The first thing what we see is ideally, right? Click that ideally. Python shell gets opened in this way. If you want to work with interactive mode, you can work statement by statement. Otherwise, if you want to work with batch mode, file, new file. Yes. So here, comment in Python starts with hash symbol. Comment means not executable. Just for our understanding, we write, right? Case 1, defining a variable. Defining a variable, right? Yes. X value 10. Print X. Print X.
10.
Print
And
10, right? So here 3 things. I want to print the 3 things. Print X, I want to print ID function. ID of X means address of X and type of X. Type means what will be the type of X?
integer.
Integer. Because you assigned an integer value to it, it will be type integer type. First, we need to save it. So I created a separate folder like Python. So if you observe, I will keep both side by side, output and this. Print X 10. The address where exactly it is stored in the memory, right? And type of X is what type? Integer type. This is case 1. Printing the content, printing that address, and printing that type. Okay. Case 2 you observe. What was our case 2? Case 2 means two different variables.
Two different options.
Two different variables xy with two different values 10, 20, two different objects with two different addresses. Just I'll copy this same file. Excuse me. Case 2. Okay. Case 2. Defining a variable, right? Defining two different variables, right? Defining two different variables with two different values. Defining two different variables with two different values. Then two different objects gets created. Two different variables with two different values, then two different objects. See one thing, compare our course content with any other training, right? See that what we are providing, what I am providing, right? The course content. Different modules related to different environments and total Python core, Python advanced, application oriented modules, everything is covered, right? Compare with other course contents of other trainings, just and say which concept, which training, everything more than others, everything we are providing, I'm providing, right? So even data science also, introduction to data science algorithms, and some related to like NumPy modules, Pandas modules, Matplotlib also is covered. Yes. Defining two different variables with two different values, then two different objects. Two different variables with two different values, then two different objects gets created. With two different values, then two different objects with two different addresses. Understood, right? Different variables, different values, different objects, and different addresses. Print x, address of x, type of x. Print y, address of y, type of y, right? Print y, address of y, and type y.
Keep variable y equals to
Yeah, assign the variable.
Yes, y equal to 20, right? Yes. X is 10, y is 20. Now printing their x, their address type. Print y, its address. Now try to answer, right? Address of x and address of y, is it going to be the same or different?
Different.
address of X address and Y address will be different, right? Because different contents, different objects, and different addresses. X is 10, X is 20. So here, yes, understand this, run module. Check this addresses and this contents, right? 10, 20, 10, 20, right? Yes. Ten, 20. For 10, this is the address. 20, this is the address. Two different addresses, right? Two different values, two different addresses, right? Yes. Now observe this case 3. What is case 3? X is 10, Y also 10. X is 10 and Y also 10. Both have the same values, right? Means how many objects will be created? Yes.
One object.
Only one object. Now check this, how many objects are going to get created here, right? Case 3. Two different variables with same values. Two different variables with same values, right? Then only one object gets created. And its address is returned, and its address is returned to both the variables. Then only one object gets created and its address is returned to both the variables. Now try to answer. X is 10 and Y also 10. Address of X and address of Y will be same or different?
Same.
Same.
It must be same. It has to be same, right? Yes.
Yes.
Run module. Just observe this. 10, 10. The addresses are same. Types are same. Contents are same. Contents
Yes.
are same. Addresses are same. Types are same, right? Yes. All. Yes. Okay. Case 4. Observe this case 4. Defining two variables with same name. X is 10, X is 20, right? Defining two variables with same name, X and X only, but with different values. Defining two variables with same name but with different values. Two variables with same name but with different values, then two different objects gets created. And the previous one gets removed, and the previous one gets removed, right? Yes. Defining two variables with same name but with different values, then two different objects gets created and the previous one gets removed. X is 10, X is 20. Print X, address of X, type of X. Print X 20, address, type. Print X means 20, its address and its type. So always the latest value will be printed, its address will be printed, its type only will be printed. The previous run module.
Hello.
Okay. Understood, right? All these four cases. Any queries in these four cases, anyone, right? If you observe this, I got one query in case 3, right? X value 10, Y value 10. Address of X and Y, same or different?
Same.
Same.
It will be same, right? But if I say 10.0,
Different.
Yeah, different.
Float.
before you answer, right? What is type of Y?
Float.
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 Type of X?
Int.
Means one integer object created, one float object created, right?
Yes.
One integer object and one float object created. One integer and one float object, right? Yes. Okay. So two different objects, two different addresses, right? Yes. Just observe here. Run module. Okay. So 10 and 10.0, one integer object, one float object created. Two different objects, two different addresses, two different types. Understood, right? Yes.
Yes.
So this is what, how to define variables in Python. What happens internally, how to print their values, how to print their address and type, right? Yes. Next is we have got a discussion on data types, right? Fundamental data types. We have got different types of fundamental data types. More discussion on string data type, right? String indexing, string slicing, string functions, string methods, and string special characters, right? I'll be discussing. So, okay. So the next class will be on Monday. Tomorrow, Sunday, there is no class. We'll meet on Monday again, same time. You can follow the same link also, right? Monday will be the last demo session, right? Means that free session. So yes, Monday, Tuesday, the link will be changing. Yes. Those who got enrolled, right? You will be getting the
Sir,
notes.
one more doubt, sir, to me.
Yes, yes. Go ahead.
Sir, by 22nd, the demo classes will be completed, no?
Yes. So sessions means
Yeah, after 22nd, the timings will be same, huh?
so one second. So Monday will be the last free session, right? Means from Tuesday onwards, those who got enrolled only will be getting the link, right? So from I said for the first 10 days or 2 weeks, right? The session will be at 7 o'clock only. After that, the session will be at morning 6 o'clock. Means after first 10 days or
Okay.
2 weeks, it will be at 7 a.m. Later, it will be at 6 a.m. I said. So okay,
Okay, sir.
next. So okay, understand this. Before itself, I'm saying about the timings. Okay, it will be at 7 a.m. because of multiple requests from the many of the students from this many job holders and the students from colleges, right, who are attending college. So we are shifting. Okay, you can see the chart panel, right? The online team has posted that payment processing procedures. And also you can also check this YouTube videos link also, right? As of now, you can see YouTube videos. It means the last ST session, day before ST session, right?
Yes,
If
yes.
anyone have not attended it, you can go to that video of it now, pasting in the chart panel, right? Yes. Yes. So as I said, we will be getting clear notes of the soft copy every day, and every session is video recorded. You will be getting the recorded video of the session. And I said it's both. It's a full stack batch. Means if you want only Python, only like if you want to update with only Python, it's the fees is 5K. And if you want the total full stack, the fees is like 9K, where you will be getting Python core, Python advanced, and application oriented modules. Apart from that, UI technologies on HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, JavaScript, and Django, right? So only for Python, the 75 hours, and for UI technologies and Django and REST APIs, that is, it takes 60 more hours for it, totally 135 hours, right? So it's 4 months, it takes 4 to 4.5 months if you want entire package. But only Python, like 70 to 75 hours, it takes 2 to 2.5 months, right? So recorded video first, today you can check in that chart panel, right? You can see that links provided, otherwise to your mails you'll be getting. You can just go through that. Yes, you can see now, you can see the YouTube link pasted in the chart panel. Now you'll be getting 2 or 3 links. Okay. And later once from Tuesday onwards, you will be getting a Google Drive link. Every day one folder is created, will be in the Google Drive, and daily one video will be added. Now see that videos, three links you got of last 3 sessions, last 3 video. Okay. So any other queries, right? Anyone?
Vijay.
Yes.
So actually, I'm installed Python long back. It is 3.10, and I'm trying to configure this ideal one, but it's not.
Ideally.
Yeah, ideal. It's
So
saying
go to the start Windows only, right?
yeah, I'm on ideal shell only, ideally, and I'm trying to it's saying configure ideal.
Why see here, if you go to this Python where it is available, right? If we click this 3.11, if you click this ideally, right, you will get this shell like this.
I done that. Okay, I try to install 3.11 and I'll check today.
So if you click,
can I share my screen?
Okay, share your screen. Yes, now you can share. So wherever we see installations like database installations, IDs installations, right? I'll be asking you to do parallel along with me, right? The installations.
Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Ideal.
Click it. Got right?
Yeah, but here x is equal to 10 and print x, but it's giving result. It's not
printing 10, right?
But how to hold that? Like I want to print something other as well. Print ID X as well.
Print ID of X, you say?
And I'm asking for this scripting mode.
Script mode means, okay. Okay, one more bracket, close, enter. Now, if you want to go for batch mode, file is there, right? File,
Okay.
new file, you say, new file, you say. Here you can write and file save and run option there.
Okay. So
And run.
Thank you.
If you want to increase the font, options, configure first one, and their font is there. It is as of now 10 is there, right?
Yeah.
So make it 16, 18 and say apply. Okay. Okay, font will be increased. Now you can close it and check. Yes. X is 10, print Y equal to 20. Okay, print X you say. Save it, file S, file save, control S you can say, or file save. Save, okay. And desktop you save any name.py, any name, file name, sample.py, yeah, test.py. Say yes, save. Right now execute, run module. Run module, right? Yes. It's printing 10, right? Yes.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay, fine. So, okay, so fine. So I'm stopping for now. Meet you on Monday again, right? Same time at 7 o'clock. Yes.
I have Mac. For Mac, which one I need to install?
Mac also same. You can download, right? Go to
Yes.
python.org, downloads folder, all releases, and check. For Mac OS also they are given. Okay. So those who have got, just once again you check this, right? So here python.org, right, enter. Go to downloads, all releases. In that, scroll down, go to looking for a specific release. Python 3.11. Select it, right? Go scroll down to the bottom of this. You will get files here. Mac OS 64-bit universal installer. Click it, your download will start and normal installation.
Okay.
Mac OS 64-bit universal installer, right?
Windows 8.
Those who have got Windows 8, right? Yes. Windows, see, okay, 1 second. If you go back and check, right? If you go back and check, whenever you see, note that, see here, clearly a note is given here. 3.11 if you want to install. Note that Python 3.9 plus cannot be used on Windows 7 or earlier. Means if you have got Windows 7, you can go with 3.8 or 3.7, but 3.9 onwards, you need to go with 3.10 only. Okay, so 3.8, once you check and install it, right? 3.10 or 3.9, any version you can install. You are in Windows 8. If it is not installed, go with 3.7. Okay, so check it if 3.10 is working for in Windows 8. If it's not working, go with 3.7. There won't be much difference, right? Okay. So I'm stopping for now. Meet you on Monday, same time, same link, right? Yes. Thank you all for your time. Thank you. Meet you on.
Yes.
So you can just copy the links, right? YouTube links for the last previous sessions. And also, okay, fine.
Okay, thank you all.